How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews back with yet another review. A little bit of Wheatwine time in the form of Author Hat Brewing. It is their Gold Strap. This is a Wheatwine, aged 1 year in hand-selected Woodward Reserve bourbon barrels. 14.6% alcohol by volume. And yeah, shit's about to get drunk out. Yeah, this bottle comes courtesy of Gordon. I'm going to call him Jeff Gordon because his name's Gordon Jeff, I believe. I could be wrong. But he sent me beers before. Ooh, that wants to get out of the bottle. He sent me beers before, but not too long ago. He wrote me last time he sent me beers. He's like, anytime you're down towards Twin Elephant, shoot me a message, and we'll meet up and chug some beers. And that's actually what we did. And put that there. Show you guys the label a little bit more. I kind of dig this label. Super classy. And we ended up hanging out, chug a couple beers, and he ended up throwing this my way along with a couple other beers. So thank you very much, brother. I did not expect this to look like this. Usually when I think about wheat wines, I think about something a bit more golden color. But this is definitely getting in that kind of dark barley wine kind of color. And honestly, it looks more of like an aged wheat wine. When you start to get some age on them, you get a little bit of those rich kind of darker colors. This comes off a bit more in label-wise. It's fucking, like I said, super classy. Just gold lettering on black. Doesn't get much nicer than that. And this looks like, you know, super dark iced tea. Like, put a little too much powder in that iced tea. Sometimes I like it sweet, so yeah, this is gonna be sweet though. Let's get a nose. Holy shit! Holy shit! Man, there's so much bourbon in that. This smells like bourbon beer, not necessarily like barley wine or wheat wine. There's so much bourbon in here. There's so much barrel character. There's so much kind of rich bourbon, rich sweetness. Man, you're getting just smoky charriness, but it's that vibrant, fresh, like, it's had to go in a wet barrel. Like, this barrel had to be, like, so wet, it's not even funny. And it's got this rich kind of oakiness to it. It's sweetened. It's almost like the bourbon itself kind of merged with the wood itself, and they're not one or the other. It's like, oh, it's bourbon with a nice wood character. It's wood with a little bit of bourbon notes to it. It's like equal parts wood and bourbon together. You're getting rich, kind of huge, kind of vanilla. But it's past vanilla. It's not marshmallow. It's not fluff. It's not coconut. It's like all those bits and pieces kind of rammed together. And then you get that sweet driving portion of that wheat wine that really kind of steps back and lets that bourbon be the star of the show. And I think that's a nice thing here. Sometimes I'm like, oh, there's way too much barrel going on here. The beer is lost. Listen, wheat wines can be a bit uninspiring. That's coming from a guy whose favorite beer of all time is a wheat wine, which would be Sweet Repute from Founders. It's one of my favorite beers of all time. Maple bourbon barrel aged wheat wine. And this just smells more like a rich bourbon beer as opposed to a beer with bourbon kind of notes to it. But I kind of dig it, the way it's coming off. Yeah, just huge bourbon character, huge barrel character. Not charry or smoky or anything like that. Just more of kind of that sweetened portion of the show. I just got to dive into it. Cheers. That's how it comes off in the taste, and I'm 100% okay with it. 100% okay with it. It's a hot beer. It's giving me warming here. It wants to give me a jump start of heartburn, but it's nice. Rich. Rich is the word here. I wouldn't even go sweet. Sure, it's a sweet beer, but it's more rich. It's more that kind of adulty kind of cake and candy to where it's more kind of caramel nougaty kind of. I still want to go score bar here, even though some people poop on a score bar. More that score bar kind of richness as opposed to just a refined sugar kind of sweetness, because you're getting that rich oakiness. Marries beautifully with that bourbon. That wheat wine is there because you do get it. You do get this nice rich kind of soft, like almost like slightly butterscotchy kind of barley wine, which is how wheat wines typically come off to me. But then you marry it with how much rich kind of barrel character and spirit character you're getting from the barrels that these went into. It works. It's one of those rare occasions, I said it earlier in this review and I'll say it again, where the barrel is so big but it makes so much sense and it just works here. I like it, man. I like it. It's 15%. It's not something I should be drinking by myself. This will be capped. I will sip this over the weekend. But this is absolutely fantastic. For an impact barley wine / wheat wine. It's just giving me everything I want. And you know what? I'm not the biggest, let's age a bunch of barrel aged shit, but man, I need a bottle of this, and I need a bottle of this that's about 5 to 8 years old, because that's typically a bit too long haul for me when it comes to a barrel aged beer, but this is going to hold up, and this is going to turn into one of the best aged, barrel aged beers, I think, in quite some time. This is going to be an all-time ageable beer. So, everybody out there, tap top, go to your craft store, buy your little wax kit, wax these fuckers. Wax them up. Get them so you don't get tons of oxidation in there. Besides what's already in there, you're going to get enough from, the empty space and, things like that. And just wax them up and let them sit. 5 years. 5 to 8 years. And I bet you this will be, if it doesn't go sideways for some nefarious reason, this is going to be one of the best ageable beers I've had in quite some time. And it's super tasty as is. But I think age is really going to treat this really nice. So yeah, barrel all the way. Barrel character in your face. The wheat wine is there, but it's definitely trumped by that barrel. But the barrel comes off meaningful, purposeful, and it's one of those rare occasions where when the barrel's over the top, it actually works. And just super tasty beer. Thank you very much, dude. This is a very cool beer. Absolutely fucking awesome to give this a whirl. And yeah, kind of pissed I don't have 10 of them to throw in a cellar. And by cellar, I mean a closet somewhere. Anyway, let's talk about it. Is this one of the better wheat wines I've had as late? Number 1 as of late. I'm still taking you some aged sweet repute, but with this age on it next to an aged sweet repute, might be talking about a battle right now. So take that for what it's worth. Value availability, I have no idea. It's other half. It's 500 ml bottle. I'm assuming it's right around $20. And leave you with, if you like what we like this beer, if you like barrel aged beer, done. If you like barrel aged, bourbon barrel aged big beers, and you don't like this, shut the fuck up. There you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a nice little bourbon barrel aged wheat wine right now. And we'll see you next time. Cheers.